Scientific Literature versus Evolution. 6. Quote, "We are critical of the position that macroevolution is sufficiently explained by the processes useful for microevolution. In particular, that mutations and survival of the fittest are adequate to the task." Dr. Brown and Dr. Hullender. In this video, we provide additional quotes and discuss concepts from the following scientific paper: Neo-Darwinism Must Mutate to Survive. Olen Brown, David Hullender, Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology, 172, 2022, pages 24 to 38. Evolution believers believe that naturalistic mega-evolution has been proved to be true, and that microevolution plus time gives us mega-evolution. However, there are many scientific papers that show that that is not the case. We have discussed several of these in our previous videos. Every one of our key conclusions in our various videos about the falsification of Neo-Darwinism for mega-evolution is now being presented by scientists and discussed in the scientific literature. Note, we provide quotes from scientists who, as far as we know, do believe in evolution. However, their research confirms that the core tenets of Neo-Darwinism have been falsified for any level above adaptation of a species within a genus or family. This means that random chance and natural selection cannot create the entire biosphere, and neither can any of the mechanisms in the modern synthesis or the extended synthesis. So, naturalistic mega-evolution is false. It is a car with no engine and no wheels. Quote, "Survival of the fittest is insufficient for macroevolution." My comment: this is consistent with what we have stated in several of our videos. Random chance and natural selection do work for microevolution, adaptation of species inside a genus or family. However, they do not have the ability to create higher taxa, kingdom, phylum, class, order, from lower species. So, they do not work for mega-evolution, single-cell to human evolution. Quote, "If a proposed mechanism essential to a theory is highly or absurdly improbable, a search for a scientific alternative is reasonable or even required." Quote, quoting Perry Marshall, "Modern synthesis proposed that random copying errors combined with natural selection and population genetics would provide a gradual increase in speciation. There are several problems with this view. One is random mutations are noise, and noise destroys information." Quote, quoting Perry Marshall, "Evolution is not steady and gradual. It instead consists of long periods of stasis, followed by rapid stages of punctuated equilibrium, contrary to Darwin's predictions." Quote, "There is much published evidence that Darwinian and Neo-Darwinian evolutionary theories are probabilistically extremely improbable." Quote, quoting Dr. Stephen Meyer, "The mystery of how the Neo-Darwinian mechanisms of natural selection and random mutation could have given rise to all these fundamentally new forms of animal life at the Cambrian explosion." Quote, "Microevolution describes mechanisms that alter the frequencies of alleles in gene pools within species. These mechanisms include mutation, migration, genetic drift, and natural selection. Theory suggests that the effects of these processes accumulate over time and can sometimes result in the divergence of populations and the birth of new species. In contrast, macroevolution, mega-evolution, describes patterns on the tree of life at a grand scale across vast time periods, including stability, gradual change, rapid change, adaptive radiations, extinctions, the co-evolution of two or more species, and convergent evolution in traits between species, just to name a few." Quote, "Macroevolutionary studies tend to draw heavily from the fossil record. Thus, macroevolution is centered on explaining evolutionary patterns above the species level." Quote, "We are critical, as previously explained, of the position that macroevolution is sufficiently explained by the processes useful for microevolution. In particular, that mutations and survival of the fittest are adequate to the task." Summary: these quotations from the scientific paper listed above are consistent with what we have said in several videos. Neo-Darwinism, random chance and natural selection, has been falsified for anything more than microevolution, adaptation of a species within a genus or family. This means that random chance and natural selection cannot create the entire biosphere, and neither can any of the mechanisms in the modern synthesis or the extended synthesis. So, naturalistic mega-evolution is false. It is a car with no engine and no wheels. Thanks to Dr. Von Mancha for bringing this paper to our attention. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.